Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to my Venus series. Okay, so in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the self-worth of Venus in Cancer, but this video can also resonate if you happen to have the sign of Cancer ruling your second house as well. Now, before we do get started, if you would like to know more information about the Venus signs, the Venus houses, the second house and the Taurus house within astrology, amongst other things, then I have created a Taurus season/Taurus archetype ebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide a link to that ebook in the description box below so that you can pick up your copy today. So with all of those introductions out of the way, Venus in Cancer/Cancer ruling the second house, let's do this. Okay, so firstly let's start off by explaining the second house within astrology. Now, the second house can provide us with an indication into how our identity and security is formed based upon the things that we attach ourselves to, whether that be money, whether that be materials, people, or our belief systems and so on. And it's actually the second house that can be viewed as representing the time in our lives or the stage in our lives by which we begin to become more consciously aware of our bodies. And according to Howard Sass-Pertaz, from around 6 months we start to recognize that we have a body, but then there's also research to suggest that we start to become self-aware from around 18 months old. Therefore, it is from the second house that we start to build upon who we are based upon the materials and how we reflect on the material world. So you could say that the products or the items or the materials that you purchase or own, they are a reflection of yourself in some way because they reflect things about you. So they reflect things like your style, your fashion, your taste, your likes and your dislikes and so on. But they also reflect your financial situation and your skills and your talents as well. So for example, to pay $10 for a new t-shirt over $50 for a new t-shirt, then that of course can reflect your financial situation. But then it's also a question of, would you be able to afford that t-shirt in the first place if not for being skilled within the particular job that you're working at in order to buy that new shirt? Ultimately, it is from the second house that we form our own sense of self-worth and value. So who do you value? What do you value? Do you value yourself and others? And what is your self-worth based upon and why? Essentially, this is about you going outside of yourself in order to locate what is happening within yourself. Okay, so what we notice of those of you with these placements, which by the way I'm going to refer to you as Cancer throughout this video, we notice that finances and resources and materials, they might have been provided to you with much nurturing care. So, for an example, perhaps you grew up with many women around you. Perhaps there was a female influence, a strong female influence in that way. Perhaps you grew up around women who would often work together or show support towards one another. And this right here might have actually influenced your own working style or how you earn money. Now, this can be regardless if you are a man or a woman with these placements, okay? Though it might actually be that if you are a woman with either of these placements, you're going to give or provide emotional support within a particular relationship. Or if you are a man with these placements, you might be attracted to someone who can provide this emotional support towards you within a relationship. But still, regardless if you're a man or a woman, there could have been much influence from female figures when it came to your financial stability and security. Basically, you might have grown up with a strong financial female influence in this way, or with a strong emphasis on the value and the importance of family and or tradition. So when it does come to the financial world, or when it comes to your own physical security, well, you might have just been strongly influenced by female figures or by your family in some way, whether that be that your financial providers were your parents and so your parents even split in this way. It's just that family to you may be something that you hold to great importance, whether or not you were negatively impacted by your family or positively impacted by your family. You might actually be the type of Cancer who's more aware of the roles and the positions of women in other countries, or maybe you place more value upon women's roles than men's roles. I mean, say for example, if you are the type of Cancer who had a really great relationship with your mother figure in this way, you know, if that was the case, then you may show appreciation and value towards other mother figures. And even on that note, Cancer, when it does come to the relationship that you have with your mother, if it is that you experienced a really loving and nurturing relationship with your mother, you might have placed more value upon your relationship with her. However, if you did ever experience times by which your mother's security, physical security, was impacted in some way, this might have impacted your security as well. So for example, if your mother ever argued or fought with your father, you might have felt that. Or if your mother ever lost her car keys and she was getting all wound up and upset and frustrated and emotional about it, you might have felt that. Or if your mother was crying due to potential financial difficulty, or things were a little bit tight during that time, you might have felt that too. Ultimately, you might be the type of Cancer who places much emphasis and value upon your mother. But not just the mother, this could also be towards your family overall. However, Cancer, that is not to say that all of you Cancerians are going to have a great relationship with your mother. Maybe your mother was clingy when it came to the finances and the materials. Or maybe she was continuously trying to shove food down your throat to say like, here, have these cupcakes or I'll make you this, I'll make you this. You're a growing boy, you're a growing girl, you need to eat, you know? Or maybe she was super sulky and whiny and always seeking sympathy, like, oh, woe is me, and just kind of pity parties a lot. So, kind of going back to this whole nurturing care that was provided as stated at the beginning of this video, it could be that you, Cancer, you are perhaps learning how to provide these nurturing, caring qualities towards yourself, towards your own financial security, towards the home base that you wish to set up or property that you wish to buy or live in. And you're also learning that by you valuing your own nurturing qualities towards your self-worth, you can in turn attract similar experiences, possessions, and people into your life that are also nurturing and caring towards you. For an example here, Cancer, right? Maybe you are on a date with someone and in that moment you really just want to set your hand lightly on their hand and it's just in your head and you really want to do it, but maybe you're just really nervous about it. Maybe you're just a little shy, a little hesitant, a little afraid of rejection perhaps here, Cancer. You know how Cancerians can be with their shell. So in this instance, perhaps you are not valuing these nurturing qualities within you that can come across as rather affectionate, you know? Maybe you're the type of Cancer who's just really scared of public displays of affection, or maybe you're highly protective and you just don't want to get hurt because of how deeply you feel. But as a way to actually value yourself in this situation, right, in this example, just try seeing the value in being affectionate, you know? If that's what you want to do, if you want to show affection, try really seeing the value in that. Then again, you can usually tell when the time is right. Ain't that right, Cancer? Because you are very much in tune with the emotions of others. So really this is about you trusting your own instinct and inner compass, and also this is about you paying attention to the person's body language as well. Because the thing is that yes, you're able to feel deeply, and yes, you have the tendency of feeling the emotions of others, but you can lose sight of the details that exist above the surface. So for example, right, maybe that person is communicating a certain message, they're telling you about themselves, but yet their actions don't line up with what they're saying. So this is really about you paying attention to what other people are showing you physically. You might actually seek a relationship that is comforting and protective and is emotionally stable, but you can also become blindsided by empty promises and those who say that they are really going to be there for you, but they're not. In this instance, Cancer, I suggest trying to remain aware of your own emotional tides, and if you are dating someone, learn to express how you're feeling about the situation towards that person if you really feel like you must. Now, I'm not here saying that all of you Cancerians are emotional crybabies or that you're all seeking to just share your emotions with other people or with a potential partner. What I'm suggesting here, Cancer, is that you can develop a healthy sense of self-worth whenever you're able to value how you are feeling overall. So for example, maybe you and a partner are hanging out, and maybe this partner shares something with you, right? They open up that door, they let out their emotions with you, Cancer. They confide in you, and you, being the Cancerian that you are, you will most likely empathize, show sympathy towards this person. And that is great, because that's one of your powers. One of your powers and your strengths is to be an emotionally supportive person towards others. But, right, in this situation, next thing you know, that partner that opened up to you, they are opening up again, right? Same thing happens a week later, okay? This person almost keeps sharing how they're feeling, but yet they're not really doing anything to change their situation. They're literally just complaining, sulking, mulling over the same thing. But then next thing you know, you, Cancer, you look around you and you realize what has happened is that the problems that this person, the things that this person was sharing and opening up with you about, all those things you then hold, you take on. You know, Cancer, maybe it was that you had a certain gut feeling about this person at the very beginning before you started dating them and you ignored it. Or maybe you just went with the flow and you lived in your moment and you allowed events to happen and unfold as they should. But, okay, from this process, potentialities of what might have resulted here, it could have been that next thing you know, you're possibly fighting with people that your partner is fighting with, or you're taking care of your partner's child by which their mother is being moody towards you, or next thing you know, you're creating a home or a family with this person. Now, there could be many ways, so many ways that this can play out, of course, but the main point that I'm trying to convey here, Cancer, is that you can attract a person into your life who is good at unloading all of their emotional values onto you, whilst you don't have a say in the matter. How you feel about the investment, how you feel about the situation, Cancer, it doesn't matter. How you feel about the new car that this partner wants to purchase, it doesn't matter. So, to this, I say, be aware of these types of people who are only focusing on draining your emotional energy and resources, because how they feel is so much more important than how you feel. Therefore, Cancer, when it does come to your self-worth, This is about you learning to value your emotional energy within the physical world. So, for example, that item that you're interested in buying, does having it or not having it define your self-worth? And also, is it that you look at materials and items and possessions as things that can validate how you're feeling on the inside here as well? For example, maybe eating 2 pints of ice cream will validate your feelings of sadness, or maybe buying a new purse or a new pair of shoes will satisfy your feelings of jealousy, or maybe changing your job will satisfy your feelings of inadequacy, where you desire a job by which you are valued for your caring and kind behavior. Perhaps you're the type of Cancer who wishes to earn money through the likes of child support, childcare, hospitality, catering, housing, real estate, or perhaps you possess this strong desire to actually work by the sea or the ocean, or maybe you're the type of Cancer who has a desire to be a mother, because that's where you feel that you're most valued as a woman if you are a woman with these placements. But you know what, Cancer, regardless of how you choose to earn money or regardless of how you spend money, you are going to feel worthy whenever you are sensitive towards your own emotional needs, but also towards the emotional needs of others as well. Now, it could be here that you base your self-worth upon the values of your family. So maybe you are the type of Cancer who grew up aware of how your family managed and budgeted their finances and their resources in this way, and so you then might possess a similar outlook. Then again, it could be that there are certain things that you did not really see as valuable within how things were ran. So traditionally, or within the family dynamics, maybe you didn't see them as overly valuable, and so you decided that you wanted to change that cycle. But still, it could also be that you took on the traditions of that family and then you want to continue on with those traditions because it's what you value so much. So yeah, you might bring the same values of your family into your own family, or you might change those values and start a new cycle from what your family did to your own family. Then again, Cancer, it might be that you actually base your self-worth upon the sentimental or nostalgic things or moments in your life. So maybe there are times when you just look back and you remember and you reminisce about the good old days, and so by doing this you actually feel a lot of comfort and you feel at ease. But it's still just about being aware of those times where you can sort of get sucked in, right? You can get sucked into this rather self-deprecating, sort of regretful place as well. I do suggest you being aware of your tendency to cling onto certain ideals of how other people should respond to how you're feeling here. Because there can be a situation where perhaps you're upset and another person is not sure as to why you're upset. So what you might do instead of, this is what I'm saying about expressing how you feel, this is why it's important, because when you hold it in, okay, you basically might be passive aggressive towards that person or give them the silent treatment. So for example, you may just sulk all day or go into your own solitude and not come out, and that person has no clue as to what is going on. But the thing here is that you shutting yourself out can naturally result in that person feeling underappreciated themselves, them feeling undervalued. Now you could say that, oh, you know, my feelings are my feelings and they're valid and that's how they feel and everything else. But if how you feel is impacting somebody else's feelings, it's about you learning to come out of your shell and to address that situation head on, rather than being super protective and guarded and hidden away because you don't want to get hurt, but to face that, you know, face that potential rejection, face that person who you're afraid of having a negative response from, or you're afraid of maybe they're not going to understand how you feel. At least you'll know that you expressed how you felt and it's up to that person to then decide for themselves what they want to do. It's just really, really important here, Cancer, to know that whilst yes, you are learning to validate your feelings, you're also learning not to diminish other people's feelings either. You know, you might even go to the extreme case of this where you actually emotionally manipulate those who don't feel the same way that you do, so you may want them to feel the same way you do, and so you may use your emotional manipulation as a way to get them on your side or as a way to attract something. So maybe it's that you don't get your own way, for an example, so you could use manipulation, emotional manipulation, to get your own way. So it could be a certain product that you're told no, you can't have that, so you may use the manipulation as a way to attract that product to you. So just to be aware of this tendency, Cancer, with these placements. Ultimately, this is about you using your power to provide emotional nourishment and security towards the relationships that you have, and also towards the materials that you own. So to see the value in providing nurturing care and support, but to also see the value in just going with the ups and downs of life, with the natural cycle of life. So if it is that maybe you're feeling a bit crap, you're feeling a bit low, you're on that dip in a way, right? Try to do something within your physical world to help you through that. So listen to a piece of music, write something, talk to a friend, make yourself a really nice meal, or have a really nice pastry with coffee, because I know that that's what I like to do. Just try to show yourself that motherly care. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video on the self-worth of Venus in Cancer / those of you with Cancer ruling the second house. Now, if you do happen to have any of these placements, it would be great to hear from you in the comment section below, to hear about your own experiences. So yeah, it would be good in that way, because there's not overly a lot of information that exists when it comes to self-worth in astrology. Thank you so much for watching, thank you for subscribing, and of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet clicked that subscribe button, then go right ahead, and I will be back with another video very, very soon.